And welcome into the Capitol View App Extra. Roby enjoying a little water or whatever that is over there. Rejoined by Robert McClarty and Clint Reed. The 2nd District got a lot of talk on the TV side, but here on the smartphone side, let's talk a little bit about 4th District. A few candidates have announced, but there's going to be others, right?
Go ahead.
Well, I think from a Democratic standpoint, James Lee Witt's probably going to be all you want. And I think that's enough of a candidate and one person to handle it from a Democratic standpoint. I know we've got another person in the race, but James Lee clearly will come in with the establishment, the money, the resources, and the message to win that race. And as a Democrat, which is a tough district overall, we feel pretty good about James Lee's chances.
Look on the Republican side, you've got Bruce Westerman, majority leader from Garland County, which will be a pivotal piece of the puzzle for the 4th Congressional District. You've got a guy, Tommy Moll, who sort of fashioned himself in the Tom Cotton mold of being able to raise a lot of money and introduce himself very effectively to the public. All that stuff still to be determined. I think the 4th District will be very competitive. James Lee Witt is a guy who, is he a winner? I can't say that, but will he be credible? Absolutely, he'll be credible. Be able to raise a lot of money, spend a lot of resources in a district that I think will be one of the most competitive, along with the 2nd Congressional District in all of the country.
So James Lee Witt is a clear the field type move for Democrats, 4th District?
I think it might not be the other candidate might not get out.
Sure.
But I think it's in everybody's minds, yes, he'll be the clear front runner from a Democrat standpoint.
I see the Democrats doing something interesting this year with the candidate lineup that they've kind of recruited into this race. James Lee Witt, Pat Hayes, you look at Mark Pryor as an incumbent, Mike Ross in the race now. You've got a bunch of older, white, male, conservative political candidates, which is the brand that the Democratic Party has won on in the past. Do you see things lining up that way as well?
I do.
And does that cause a problem for Republicans in terms of competition?
Well, I certainly think it makes things more competitive. I think in 2010, the Democrats were sort of caught off guard by just the momentum of the wave that was out there for Republicans. They did a much more effective job in 2012, and I think they've learned on that. I think the caution for Republicans has to be, do we feel good about where we are? Status quo is good. We just think that everything is going to fall in place. One of the things I've been told is that Mike Ross has borrowed the Rahm Emanuel strategy of going and finding effective candidates that fit those districts, not only legislatively but congressionally. Mm-hmm. You're seeing signs of that. To me, the platonic shift that has occurred at the demographic level or the geographic level, I think is too much to overcome when all things are said and done.
I agree with Clint. I think 2010 Democrats were caught off guard quite a bit, but also the message was just not there. The president's approval ratings were at an all-time low, and our members decided to retire. But looking at this year, proactive planning, good candidates, strong personalities, the message here is a lot better than it was then. I think it's going to be a fun year to watch. And plus, from a resource standpoint, all these candidates can raise money.
Is the Tea Party a weapon for the Democrats, an asset for the Republicans?
It's an asset for Republicans because it increases the intensity of our base turnout. I think the caution has to be, and we've seen it in some of the numbers, is those independent voters, and I've said it on this show many times, swing is king in my opinion. Do they buy that sort of ideological approach to government? I don't think they do. I think Republicans have to be cautious about whether or not they want to go down that road this early.
What the Tea Party just showed in D.C. a couple of weeks ago with the shutdown and the debt ceiling, almost not even go in that direction to get it approved, I think that proves those type of policies that the Tea Party kind of stands for. These independent voters that Clint's talking about, they're not really big fans of.
Yeah, that's I think a pretty solid app extra for a Sunday morning. Gentlemen, what do y'all think? Pretty good?
Hey, we gave you your money's worth today.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up the KRK Capitol View app extra for this week. Of course, tune in again next Sunday at 8:30 for a whole new edition of Capitol View and another app extra as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.